Hi there, Jack here. Last year I made a Project for Awesome Thoughts from Places combo video, and I thought I'd do it again this year. If you don't know what Project for Awesome is, we'll get into that in a second. First, let's talk about Thanksgiving. I tried to film some glorious scenic shots, but this kept happening. This is what the hundreds of miles of freeway between LA and the Bay Area look like. Thanksgiving has been a hard time for me for a long time for various reasons, but this year I was especially worried about trans-related things, and I drove up north thinking the trip would be pretty dysphoria-inducing. Coming out has been a challenge for all of my family in some way or another, but over the weekend they all really tried to use the right pronouns, which I don't know if I can articulate how nice that was. So it turned out to be a really good trip. This is Zachary, my nephew, who was the star of the trip. God, he is adorable. I didn't want to spend the entire trip with a camera in everyone's face, so though I did take some baby footage, I mostly took footage of the aquarium we went to. The San Francisco Aquarium is pretty damn cool. It sits right on the edge of the city and has a lot of great critters. A couple weeks before Thanksgiving, I was talking to some friends about what their plans were for the weekend. I didn't have any yet, and it reminded me of a time a few years ago when we also didn't have any Thanksgiving plans. My mom and I made pasta. My friend told me that actually sounded really sweet, simple, but really nice. I kept thinking about it, though, and then remembered why we didn't have any plans. My eating disorder was hell at the time, and on Thanksgiving, I hadn't eaten in days. My mom tried to calm me down, gave me a sedative, and made pasta. When your mind is screaming not to eat, it's harder than I can describe. Every second feels painful, your mind is throbbing, your hands shaking. I got through a bowl of pasta eventually, and I set it aside. A moment later, my mom came in with a bowl of strawberries. Not just any bowl, though. She'd chopped them up, arranged them, and you could feel the love that she put into doing it. I started sobbing. I could feel all the effort and love she was putting forth, but it was too painful to eat. It was too painful to even think about. The rest of the night was laced with guilt, shame, anxiety, and darkness. That's quite a dramatic pasta story, isn't it? Yeah, my Project for Awesome videos. Oh, look, here, this is me as a fish. I am a California sheephead. They start their life as female and change to male. There I am. Look at me go. Looking pretty good there. A little big, but that's okay. Muscular, you know. I found my animal. Look at that. Look at that swim. That's so cool. That's another fish. That's a giant fish. Yeah, California sheephead, cool. And also, they are bicolor. They change from pink to bicolor. Whoa. So anyway, yeah, my Project for Awesome videos always tend to be pretty dramatic. Project for Awesome, let's talk about it. It's a couple of days when people flood YouTube with videos about charities. My video this year is about the Trevor Project. That horrible Thanksgiving years ago was part of a much bigger spiral, and there were many times where I reached for the phone. Suicide prevention hotlines are not always magic. Sometimes they help tremendously, but sometimes they only nudge you towards something brighter. That small nudge happened to me in high school when I told a hotline about my self-harming. The person on the other end of the phone didn't fix my problems, nor did I feel drastically different afterwards. But knowing that for a few minutes I was someone's priority, and knowing that someone was there to hear me talk, that was a step forward that I needed. Here are some important phone numbers. I'll leave more resources down in the description. Years ago, I couldn't see holidays with food ever feeling comfortable. This year, for the first time since I was 12, I felt that. Things will get better. Keep going, friends. Happy Project for Awesome, everybody, and I'll see you next week.